out, to be completely honest with you. I really struggled with that. Um,
Sorry, just 1 second. What do you want, baby? What do you want? Chris, you want to get milk? Okay, I'm sorry. Chris, what do you want, baby? You want green milk? Okay, go ask Daddy Chris for green milk, okay? Can you please? No? Okay, then do you want to play with Mommy's phone? Mommy's got to work for a bit, okay? And then Mommy will play with you. Yeah. You want? Sorry, I've been on Zoom today. So go ahead. So your vision is hard to, you're like, how do I make that into this business? So,
yeah.
so why do you want to open an animal sanctuary? Yes,
To be honest, like, animals are my only passion in life. And I've never really found where I fit in that industry. And then I thought about it after my event with Awaken, and it kind of just was kind of like an epiphany in my head that when I was little, I used to literally draw out how my sanctuary would look, where, the horses would be, where the dogs would be, where this and that. And I was like, this would be perfect for that, because then I can make money online while I run that, because there's no money in it, obviously, right? So the animals are all I really care about. So
So is you say there's no money in animal sanctuaries, obviously, which I don't totally agree with. I think that if you've seen YouTube videos, there's actually one called Diablo the Black Panther, and it
okay.
is you should check that out on YouTube. Anyways, a video that went viral. Someone's getting paid for that. It's about a cat animal sanctuary. My mom's an animal body talk practitioner. I think that where there's passion, we can always make an income and make a revenue. The main thing is, so that's your end result. That's what you want to create. But right now is like you're in the process of like actually I would, instead of going, okay, I need this to fuel that passion, I would say, how can I learn the skills here that will allow me to develop a viable business there? So I think that if you own an animal sanctuary, you have an opportunity to make videos, to make documentaries, to talk about so an animal sanctuary is usually like helping animals, bringing them in. You could do lots of photography. There is actually a lot of opportunity, I would think, to make money owning an animal sanctuary. And the thing is like, but the skills that you would need to acquire to learn how to market that, you would learn here. So the thing is getting to your passion is super, super important, obviously. But becoming like a viable business owner and understanding the way business works and marketing works is the most important. So as far as the training that you've received here, what would you say are the 3 things that you have gained the most just from paying the $99 a month? What have you learned? Oh, you're muted, girl. Here, I'll unmute you.
Oh, sorry. Just learning how to do videos, I think, was the biggest, because I'm generally pretty shy and introvert kind of thing. So learning how to do that comfortably has been one of the biggest. And then I'd say that's honestly my biggest one. I don't really haven't that.
You've got more confidence?
Yeah, confidence, and I haven't really dabbled in the picture, like in photographs or anything yet, but videos and my confidence and stuff and all that has gone up.
Yeah, that's amazing. And that's one of
Yeah.
the biggest parts about I think that you said like animals are your everything. So you might have some like trust things with people that you like don't really trust people as much. So you've learned to become vulnerable maybe and put yourself out there a little bit in a way that like actually could like restore maybe a little faith in humanity for you. And I think that you're not alone in that. But I think that female confidence is something that I would really look into creating instead of creating your dream life like you have written. How about creating a new you? How about creating more self-confidence? And I would talk about that a little bit more, and that's what I would sell, because just selling your dream life is a really too broad. what does that mean? Because your dream life is totally different than my dream life, right? Like your dream life is surrounding yourself in animals on an animal sanctuary. That's very different than my dream life. So, you know, I think that your dream life it just means something different than some other person would. And that could be the issue when people are getting into this, is they're like, well, I thought you were going to help me create my dream life, but like we don't jive because you're not super clear. So your avatar can't really find you. So the way that I kind of talk to everybody is I'm like, what is the biggest thing that you've gained from the training? Because you can't sell something that you don't believe in. So you can only sell your experience here. And I would say that that what you've gained here is pretty valuable. So that's cost you like just the $99 a month. You know, that's would you say that that's been worth it for you?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So does that like feel lighter when you think about like, does that seem like it's a little bit of an easier business model for you?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then what we can do is like, whether or not you and him decide to kind of do separate fan pages, or you want to just keep like do your own thing on this fan page, what I would recommend is when you do a post at the bottom, you know, put your name. So like, you know, so you say you write a post at the bottom, write your name. And then if you guys are going to continue to share a page, then when he does a post, have him write his name so that people know who's talking. And because I think it's fine to sell two different things on one platform. Obviously you guys have, you know, you have a good page. What's your kind of interaction is, let's just look at your likes and stuff. So your interaction is not super high, but you do have the likes, and you do post like every day, March 19th, March 20th. Yeah, so you post like, oh yeah, you post every day. Hey, Megan?
Yeah.
Okay.
I try to, yeah.
There's the try. I've been on Zooms all day, and
I know.
it says try. I'm like, there's a try. There's a try.
I know.
That's like a huge thing. I'm getting my team to understand how important it is to remove it from our dialogue. It's like will just catapult you forward. But I think that people try and complicate things, and their vision is too broad. And what we have to understand is people are coming to us for a solution to a problem, and what problem are you going to solve for them? So confidence in building a business, confidence in putting yourself out there, confidence in creating community, confidence in an independent, because I've watched your guys' videos and you are both in almost every single video, which is fine. But how does it feel for like you to just start doing your own videos? You know what I mean? Like, how about Megan? How about like you? What are, you know, like, what do you want to create? And then you get to, you guys are both doing the same thing, but you're going the same direction, but you're being a little bit more authentic. So that's, and you have a little baby, right? I've seen a baby. Was there a baby? Was there a child?
That's my niece. That's my sister's baby.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay.
I had her in that one video.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yes. So see, even I'm confused. I'm like, are you a mom?
Okay.
Not a mom? It's like, get a lot more clear on who you are and what problems you're solving. And then it gets easy, right? So now it's like, oh, that's all I have to sell is like that. Perfect. So then when people do reach out to you, you're like, hey, this is what I've done. This is what I've created. You know, I have big goals. I have big visions. I have big dreams. I am part of a platform that, you know, what, like, however you want to write it, but like you're part of something that has helped you not only create more connections with people, but it's also helped me, you know, be way more confident in my personal life. The only way to move forward, like, we have to be able to have confidence, because even the fact of the matter is, you want your dream life, you want your wildlife sanctuary. Well, how about this? If you're a good business person, you can make millions off a wildlife sanctuary. For sure. Absolutely. You totally could. You could get paid to run that, where animals need to go, you know, that aren't surviving in the zoos, that aren't doing well in the zoos, and they need to leave and they can't be put in the wild. Somebody will pay you to do that. I know that. You know, whatever it is, you can have photographers come in and they have to pay to take pictures and whatever. You know, like, there's so much you could create, but you have to learn the skills here. So and you know, this training's tangible for everything. And also, Megan, I think that it's really hard to sell something that you haven't had results from. So I just said this in the last Zoom, sell what you have had an experience with. So what's your experience? What have you learned? And then it's going to get a lot easier for you to sell it. And all you have to do is sell the $99, right? System does the rest. So when people come in, like, let people know, say, this is a 2-part system. The one part, you're going to learn all these skills on how to get more confidence, on how to build a brand, how to get a fan page going, how to market yourself, how to take good videos. You're going to learn all these skills. And then if you want, you're going to get an option to join our affiliate program if you don't have like your own vision, and you're going to get some videos on that when you first register, but that's an option. So don't worry, like, you know, that'll be something that you can experience later. Because the thing is this is not about getting people to join in Magic. This is about getting people into the system to have a personal experience that can launch them forward in their personal life. And if the compensation plan is something that's appealing to them, they will buy it. But if not, it doesn't matter. You know that no matter what, if somebody comes in here, they're going to get all these things that have helped you, right? You know that it's worth its weight in gold. So I would say, like, again, whether or not you guys want to continue this page together is totally up to you, but I would definitely get more concise, more precise on what you're selling. And when you do that, automatically people are going to connect with you more, and you're not going to have an issues with people talking about the $99. And because you'll be clear on what you're selling, because mentorship isn't free. Everybody knows that. Mentorship's not free. Nobody's time is free. You're not a personal coach. You're not and it's going to change your dialogue too, because the reason that you're also getting issues with the $99 buyers is because you don't fully believe it's going to work, because it hasn't worked for you in the way that you're trying to sell it, right? So you almost feel like you're hiding something a little bit. So then automatically people are like, she's hiding something. Oh, it's the $99. I knew it. I knew she was hiding something. It's just your presentation, because you're not selling the right thing. That's all. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes lots of sense. Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. So do you feel like you have something to go on right now?
Yeah, I really like what you were saying about like kind of creating a new you and finding you, or confidence in yourself, because that's been a big, huge change for me. So I think I can definitely work with that in itself.
Totally. And it's easier. It's a lot easier when we simplify it. Like, what have you got? Oh my God. I'm gonna unshare my screen. Like, what have you got out of this? And then how can you create something valuable to basically sell to someone else? Because a lot of times, you guys, when we have an issue with getting buyers, it's not because we're not good with our words. It's because we just aren't clear on what we're selling. And those of you that have been on the other 2 Zooms today, we've kind of talked about that. And I will say that, like, when you're in, it doesn't have to be like, even Karima's here. So Karima loves horses. She loves horseback riding. That's her thing. She's in the business of horses. And the thing is like, you can learn the skills to market any business here. That is honestly the first and foremost thing, that all you have to sell. Really, the only difference between if people buy or not into Magic is how much money they want to make. That's it. And you guys can know that in ACE, that the coaches are like, they're like making sure that people are stoked about the 99. So for those of you that like still even haven't been in long enough where you feel like you haven't gained anything, which I think is pretty hard, like, because even I remember even in like the first month or 2, I was fully engulfed and I was doing everything, and I was like, wow, this is worth its weight in gold, 100%, the $99. And so it was always easy for me to do that. If you haven't had a personal experience here where you think that you've gained something, I would say you're just not in it enough. And that's fine. But I would say if you're paying $99 and you're here, you might as well do the work, because it's right in front of you. Then comes the technical training, right? Then comes the getting you not being vulnerable, but like, listen, okay, so this you guys is the fact, is people in here are going to learn how to become an attraction marketer, which we've just been talking all day. What is attraction marketing? Attraction marketing is when you know exactly what you're selling, who you are, what you've gained, and you consistently post about that. And then what happens is people that see the little bit of the problems that they want solved in you, that you are solving, and that you're consistent about it, then they want to be a part of that. So that's called attraction marketing. So that's what helps us with attraction marketing here, is the personal development and the avatar training, and really you just getting to know you. Attraction, people are tired of being sold to, but people love to spend money. Okay, so people are not afraid of the purchase, they're afraid of the consequence of the purchase. So if you're not solving their problems, then the consequence of the purchase means they wasted money. So by solving somebody else's problems, you're really clear on what your problems were and how this training helped you accomplish those, no matter how little or big they are. Once you start making a lot of money, it's really easy, right? Because it's like, well, now I have success and blah, blah, blah. And I know a lot of people go, well, I can't do that because Shauna has success. Shauna has nice pictures. Shauna's traveling, blah, blah, blah. I didn't have that in the beginning. I was just like her, and I was like, I had low confidence. I lost myself after baby. I didn't know who I was. And then I just went on that adventure. So attraction marketing is massive, because everybody's tired. Multi-level marketing, network marketing, as soon as somebody thinks that you're selling them something, they're not buying, because it's not their idea anymore. So in any business now, and this is the way of the future, we have to learn to become attraction marketers. We have to learn to become a resource rather than a sales pitch. And by becoming a resource, the way we do that is by solving our own problems, documenting them, and replicating them. That's how we do it. And we learn that here. So attraction marketing is super powerful. Just learning how to shoot videos, right? You guys get all that training here. How to shoot videos. You could ask any camera question, any photography question. And just so you guys know, I redid my training, and I had it filmed in Cabo on photography. It's a little photography training. There's also a videography training, how to throw films together. I spent $50,000 in film school, and I swear, it's crazy. I don't even remember any of it, but I did take what I did remember. That's helped me, and I compiled it. So you guys have people that are professional videographers that are going to help you guys make videos, right? So that's number 2. Number 3, you're going to learn how to drive traffic using Facebook advertising. Facebook advertising costs $10,000 at your local marketing freaking university, and it's stagnant. So that's another thing that you're learning here. So you're learning, look at Megan. She's got 5,000 likes on her page. Like, some people have no idea how to get freaking 8,000. I ran my e-commerce site for 2 years, and I had 1,000 likes after 2 years. It wasn't lack of marketing, it wasn't lack of skill, and it wasn't lack of hard work or dedication. It was lack of understanding how to generate traffic online, how to move it, how to get noticed, how to get in front of people. You learn that here. So when I launched my website for the first time, I had I can't even remember anymore. It was like 1,200 hits or something in 2 days. I don't even remember. It was a lot. And I was just like, that was because I know how to drive traffic online. So all these skills that you learn here. And these are all skills that you will need to grow any viable business in the future. So the technical skills on top of it are amazing. And again, I said earlier, I'm like, we're all caught up in how to write a good ad, how to get sales. But it's like, how about we just learn how to be a good business person? How about we learn how to set goals, right? That's goal setting is huge in what we do. And all the book recommendations, if you guys are on my crew, you have 75 free books. There's no excuse that you can't read. We talk about daily meditation. Every successful person in the world is a daily meditator. And yes, you get told to meditate here, but you're also surrounded in 500 people that are meditating, hopefully every day, or at least talk about it every day. So you also have accountability. So if you look at all of these things and you marry them together, coming from an entrepreneur, you have freaking gold. And yes, people are going to take little bits and pieces, and they're not going to do this, they're not going to do this, they're going to do this. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you're not responsible for someone else's success. But what we're truly doing here is creating viable business owners and people that have more confidence. you can't sell shit if you don't have confidence. That is just a fact, right? Would you agree? Do you guys agree you need confidence? And how do we gain confidence? We gain confidence by putting ourselves out there. How do we put ourselves out there? We do go lives, we do pictures, whatever we do. We keep putting ourselves out, we test things, we run ads, we talk to people, we get shit on by people, we get hate mail, and we just keep going. And then the more we do it, the more confidence we get. You're a confident person, you can sell anything to anybody. You can sell ice to a freaking Eskimo, as long as that ice has a good experience behind it that you've created, and they trust that if they buy that ice, they're going to get that experience that you've promised. So this is, sorry, I should look at this. Yeah, it is being recorded, but I was late on the recording, so I think I missed the first like 15 minutes. Agreed, so great fun. Can I delete my fan page and start over? The only engagement I have is from men from Bangladesh, which I just keep banning. I don't feel like I have a brand either, or my page is consistent. Yeah, totally. Start from scratch if you want. Because even that energy, Chelsea, that you have behind your page, just get rid of it. Start over. You guys, this is the thing. You guys are like, hey, I know my brand now. I want to start over. Great, start over. You want to scrap everything and you think you're more clear and you want to start over, go for it. There's nothing wrong with that. You're not going to be any farther behind or any farther ahead. Like, you know, for me, I have a very active page. I get a ton of messages from people that have found me on my page. I like losing my page would be a big deal for me. But for those of you that don't really have that yet anyways, recreate yourself, start over, do a new likes campaign. Corey just shot one, and I'm going to put it in, I think it's going to be actually incorporated into Ace. He just sent it to me, so I'll send it to you guys. You can run a new likes campaign. No more Bangladesh. There is some other places in the world just to get your social proof up, but it won't be like the last likes campaign. Yes. And I think, yeah, and you are getting clearer, Chelsea. I think that a lot has transpired since you started. Once you get clear, you guys, it's easy. It's like easy. It's like just like once you set up your pixel and it's finally set up, then it just runs. It's going to be the exact same thing when you learn, when you really get clear on what you're selling and what you want to create. So what are you creating long term? What do you want to create? And it's not about what that thing is, like wildlife sanctuary, but actually being able to understand the tools that you'll need to make that business viable. That's really what we need to get into, is what do you need to make something that you want to create a viable business? And you do that here with your Enagic business, because the Enagic pays out incredibly freaking high. Once you get this going, you guys, you can make like $4,500 off one sale. It gets easy. But until you get to that point where you're clear, then it's just going to be like this. It's going to flatline, which is fine. It's not that you're not getting anywhere. You are getting somewhere. And once you get there, it's easy, right? That's like bottom line. Thank you so much for this. I definitely have to get clear on what I'm selling. This helps a lot. I love this change, not having to push people on the products. I struggle with this. Yeah, don't push people on the products, you guys. It's a two-part system. One part, we're going to give you all the tools that you need to run any business. What that means is you guys can go on my website. I wrote this all down. Shared this with you guys before, but hold on. Let me just get it for you guys. So I have a page called Media. And you guys can go read kind of what I say. I'll just put it in the chat here. So you can go head over there and you can see, basically I tell people, I'm like, this is what you're going to learn here. This is the skills that you're going to learn. You'll be able to apply it to any business. And I always say, so just so you know, once you get registered, once you get signed up, we have an option for people that don't have their own vision, don't have their own goals. We have our own affiliate program. And that's what really makes us affiliate marketers, is we have our own affiliate program. That is an option for you to join when you come in. And just like any other program, affiliate marketing program with high ticket items, it actually requires a purchase of a product, which there's lots of different products to choose from. And you're gonna get an hour training video on that when you register. It'll be the first and the last time you'll hear about that offer. our training is not product based. It's not. We don't learn product based marketing. Basically, that's for somebody, people with like a really strong business mindset see that commissions plan and they're like, that's a good commission system. So it's like really just depends. Like, and it doesn't make it right or wrong. That's it. So it gets a lot easier when you can sell the one thing that every single person here has gained something from, and that is the training. So, and then leave it up to the people to choose whether that affiliate program is for them or not. When I started, I was like, oh, I just want this training for my business because that training is going to help me build my business. And then I was like, there's no effing way that I'm going to make $100,000 a month or whatever I want to do packing orders with baby products. There's no way. I'll freaking not a chance. So I just closed that and I got clear, right? Because then I knew how to set goals. I learned how to set goals, time sensitive goals. And I knew what my goals were and I was clear on the offer that was in front of me. And with the proper coaching and the right entrepreneurship mindset, I knew what decisions I wanted to make. That was another thing I gained, was clarity on how to make professional decisions. So, yeah, anyways, make connections that can open doors we didn't even know existed. Yeah, totally. And actually what's cool about ACE is once you reach, I think it's like 6A. So say Megan, so once you reach 6A, you want to open a wildlife sanctuary. You have that basically is the guys, they'll help you design that and help you build that business and put you in contact with people, give you the connections that you need, because we are a very connected community. And then they'll help you move into that vision. But there's no point in even going there until you know what you're doing as a business person, because then what happens is you have this business that eats your soul, eats your bank account, and then your passion just became your pain in your ass. And then that sucks, because then now what, right? So you gotta learn the stuff here, do the stuff here, simplify it, and get clear on the little piece of something that you're selling. And then what you can do is you create an experience around it, an emotion around it, and evidence and of how it's helped you, right? So Megan, like you've gained confidence, you're getting in front of the camera. That proves that you have confidence. Who was Megan before? Let's see that change, right? And that's just proof, right? The proof is in the pudding. The proof is in who you are now. You can't fake that. People will see right past it. So in order to sell something well, you have to have the results in that area. So find something that you've learned here that you have the results from and sell that. And then it's easy. And then once you've learned how to do that, you can make it bigger and bigger and bigger. And then you can do it with anything, right? Anybody have any questions? Nobody has any questions? Unmute yourselves and tell me what you think.
Yeah, that was awesome. Did I miss the part? Did you already go over the interest and targets for the ads?
So as far as interest and targets for Megan, what we just talked about. So what I would do for confidence is I would be targeting only women, because that's something that I think she's going to relate more to. I would do also people that love animals, because she's going to connect with them on that level. And I would connect probably with entrepreneurs, people either that are already want to be an entrepreneur. So I would start really broad. I always start broad. So that's how I've always done it, is I've started really wide, really broad, and then I dial it down. But my audience is always over 1 million. My audience is usually between 1 and 3 million now. If I use my lookalike audience, I still think my lookalike audience is like 2,200,000. So your audience and your target is going to be based on what you're selling. And it's going to be not on, obviously confidence is like, is an interest that you can target. I don't usually target interest, but if I get really specific about what I'm selling, then I will. So instead of just focusing on relating to people, because she could relate to people that want to own a wildlife sanctuary, but I can bet you most of them are not going to want to have anything to do with business. They're just going to want to help animals. They don't want, they're like, just like she said, it's not going to make any money. So that's not somebody that I would target. She wants to find people that want to make money on top of being able to do their passions. So be very careful when you're using interest, because when you're using an interest, it's not the interest that's the point. It's the result of the interest, is like, who is the person? So just like me, like I targeted yogis for a while, and just yogis. Well, I got every freaking hippie that wanted to just like live free and like not actually work. And like, I was like, this is like, it's not the yogis. It's actually the people that want a calmer, more peaceful life, that and also want to be able to live their dreams by traveling, and they don't really care how much money that they make to teach a yoga class. They just want to teach yoga, so they want the money to be able to fund that. So instead of just yogis, I started going, okay, I want yogis, entrepreneurs, and what kind of entrepreneurs? Women that are into blogging, probably women that are into fitness. And like I said, I don't do interest a lot, but this is what you would do if you're going to do this, is you have to think of the broader picture and like, what type of people are you looking for? So I go really broad, I'll do a bunch, and then I'll kind of dial it down. And one other thing that I've done is I'll do, and this is the beautiful thing, you guys, about spending money on Facebook, is the more money you spend, you can start building lookalike audiences. And what that means is you can find out who you're actually targeting, who actually is coming to you, and who actually is staying. So whenever you spend money on Facebook and you're running these ads, the more you do that, the more you'll be able to build a lookalike audience. And I do say that your goal should be to run a lookalike audience at some point, to be able to build up that traffic. And then that way it's easier. Actually, the best ads I've ever had have been run from a lookalike audience. So start broad. Whether or not you want to do interest, I would say, Megan, for something like this, because we are talking about specifying a little bit more, I would run your ads for just women, people that do like animals, but people that also want to be entrepreneurs. So you can do that. What do they call it? Flex targeting, where it's like
Flex targeting, yeah.
Yeah, flex targeting. So it's like you pick like an interest, and then if they like, I haven't personally done it, but I know it's working for a lot of people. And then they have to like that interest, and then they have to like others. So I know that see, the thing with me is like, they're like, you got to know your interests, you got to get super specific with your interests, which I think, and this is my humble opinion, that if your Facebook page is clear and you're clear on your vision, you don't have to be specific, because you are already going to have people. What happens is people go to your page, they look at what you're doing, they look at what you're selling, and then they're going to engage with you or not. So that's why I'm not a huge fan of interest. And I do think interest can be like, I just started running ads again, and too many interests, it actually gets really confusing, because you're like, well, what did I run? Who did I target? I wonder which one of those interests actually worked. So I would say spend the money, start your interest broad, start your things broad, then shoot to run a lookalike audience to actually find out who you're targeting. That's personally what I did, and it worked really well for me. So as far as how many people should you have, it's so different, right? Because like some people have like 30 million people. Like Taylor, she goes super broad. And then there's like other people like Aaron Fraser that are like 1,600. So it really depends on your niche. But I would say start broad. And also for those of you that aren't getting results, when you start broad, it gives you an opportunity to start seeing people and their behaviors and their, because when people message me now, and I pretty much know exactly how the conversation is going to go in the first little bit when I first start talking to them. Usually there's an odd person that really surprises me, but people do this kind of similar things. So does that answer your question, Mel?
Kind of.
How much do you have to
I
spend
mess.
to run a lookalike? It's not about how much you spend, Kate. It's about how much results you've gotten. So for a lookalike audience that you can export out of your back office from your leads, you need 100 per country. So you would need hundreds of leads in your back office. There's also a Facebook lookalike audience that you can run, I think, pretty early, and it's based on people who visit your page. So you can run one like that, and that's in, there's a training on that. Can you message me about that, and I will get the training on how to do that? Garrett did that.
Chris knew where to find it in Goldblood. I can find it for you too, because I got it sent to me.
Okay, perfect. Actually, can you post it in the group, like in the file section? Can you just make a file?
Yeah, when I find it.
When you say broad, are you talking about location on only 1 or 2 interests to get a reach around 2 months? I know I don't get any hits, anything in the East Coast. Yeah, so broad, broad basically means I'll run certain provinces in Canada, certain states in the States where I know based on what I've ran. So you guys know how to see who's on your, I'm going to show you this. My ads manager. I haven't even opened my ads manager over the weekend, and I know it's really bad, and I think that's why I haven't. My ads did something they've never done before. They were doing really good, and then they just plummeted. But it's the weekend, so just so you guys know, what I do is if I have an ad that's doing really well, and then it stops performing over the weekend, I don't care if I'm getting like $10 comments. I'll wait until Monday or Tuesday to see if it picks up again before I turn it off. That's just something I do. So what you can do, so starting broad, Mel, I mean 0 interest, no interest whatsoever. I target women and I go locations. That's how I start. Oh yeah, some of these are bad. I'm gonna turn them off. Really bad. That one goes off, that one goes off. Hey, sorry guys, I'm just gonna duplicate this one. It's the only one that's doing decent. While we're here. While we're here. Okay. Okay, so what you can do is gonna move this, is you can go into breakdown by delivery, and then I'll go, my thing is women only, 25 to 40, and then I pick locations based on what I normally get for regions. So you can go in here, you can see exactly who's looking at your stuff. So look, I have Australia on here. So what I'm probably going to do with this ad is I should have done this before I duplicated it, but see how I'm getting like nothing for Australia for these ads? Is I'll get rid of Australia. And then what it'll do is it'll allow me to target more of the states. So Florida is always a good one for me. I'll probably target Florida. So what I do is I run an ad and I'll do Canada. So I'll do provinces in Canada that I generally know do well for me. So BC, Alberta, Ontario, Quebec, and I don't do Manitoba usually, Saskatchewan, whatever. You just pick provinces that you think will do good for you. And then I do the states. I usually do like Florida, California. I do like a bunch of just states or whatever. Or if you're going really broad, just do all of the states. But again, I would get rid of certain states that kind of have no money. So yeah, like Louisiana and South Carolina, I think it is. There's just certain states that Kentucky, that just don't do anything for me. the Deep South, Mississippi, Missouri. They don't do anything for me personally. They might, if you're in those locations, like Laura, you're gonna have different because you're more in this. Like I'm in Canada, no one's gonna listen to me from down there, right? So it really does depend on where you are too. So I'll get rid of all those, and then what I'll do is I'll come in here and I'll be like, okay, so Kentucky, I do have started getting some. It's weird. So I'll go through. This isn't a really great example because these ads aren't doing super good right now. But anyways, bottom line is I can figure out generally. See, look, is this New Zealand? Yeah, so New Zealand and Australia are doing nothing for me on this ad. I'm gonna get rid of New Zealand and Australia and I'll just dump it into US.
So Shauna, so would you have to shut that ad off to remove Australia and New Zealand?
No, I just run a new one.
That's what I mean. Okay, so just keep that running, but just start a whole new one.
Yeah, so I'll do it right now. I'm just gonna go, I'll just do it.
But there's not a way to just remove locations while it's running?
Oh no, you can't. When an ad's running, it's running, but you could duplicate it straight in the ads manager and just run a new one. You got to turn the ad off. You can't edit a running ad.
Okay.
When an ad,
like I knew you couldn't edit the ad copy.
No, once it's running, you can't touch it at all. No. So
okay.
Yeah. So yeah, by starting broad, yes, I mean locations. I do locations. You could do interest. You could start broad with interest, if you wanted. And
no, that helped.
Okay, so well, you can see some of mine. Look at all 18 to 40. I can't believe I did that. So if I was gonna do something different for this ad, I could do this one. Actually, wait, which one was I doing? Lookalike based. See, this is what it's lookalike based on page views. You remember how I told you guys you can do that? You can do that here. Right there, I did it. Australia, Canada, and US. Maybe I'll just pick that one. I'm gonna see what that one does. Yeah. Yeah, and so this is what I'll do is I'll just like try a different audience, right? I have a bunch of saved audiences, and if it doesn't work, I'll go into my what's actually working, and I'll just whatever.
But there's not a way to see what audience is clicking on the like certain interest, hey? So that's why you should only have like one or two, so then you would know, versus like 10 of them, then you don't know which one is going.
You can't see your interest, unfortunately, which is...
Yeah, I wish that was possible.
Well, I think that when you do a lookalike audience, I think that there is a way to do it, actually, because your lookalike audience will be based on that. I'd have to ask about that, actually. As far as I know, that's why they say do one or two interests. But at the end of the day, I think a lot of people get super caught up on the data, and I am not a data junkie at all. I'm not. And I think the reason is because I think that it is a waste of time, and the more you try and figure this out and think about it and overthink it, it actually can actually deteriorate the joy in it. So for me, I do look at data, but I'm not like crazy about it. That's why I like to go broad and like test interests. And like, yeah, I have one that I'm testing, like blog, entrepreneur, fashion, mom, and yoga. And it's like all those interests. And it works. If it doesn't work, then I would just pull an interest out. And if that doesn't work, then I pull another interest out and just keep doing that. Yeah, it's going to cost more money. But at the same time, like I said, at the end of the day, you just keep creating more opportunity for yourself to run a lookalike audience. And my lookalike audiences, I love that. That's my favorite part about it. And my pixels, like, it's frustrating for me a little bit because it's like every ad that I run goes now. And I think a big, like my ads are approved like right now, like always. And I know it's because I've created a rapport with Facebook and running ads. So the more you get caught up in the details and tweaking every single little thing, I actually have seen people get flagged that way. So I think it's just like, if it doesn't work, turn it off, start a new one. That's why I also don't edit ads. I'll just run a new one. Because when you tweak things too much, it screws things up, and then you are putting yourself at risk for getting flagged. So try not to tweak things too much. Just keep rerunning them. Just keep rerunning them. Do you target countries separately? Oh, yeah, no, I target Canada, US, and Australia all together. But then I do have some audiences that I have just Canada. You know, it's just like I bounce around. I try a lot of different things. And I think you have to be flexible like that. You have to understand that over time, something's not going to work eventually. So what else do you have going on? You know, I have lookalike audiences. I target just countries. I target, you know, and this is what it comes down to is people are like, well, what are you targeting? What's working? I'm like, you have to test everything and create these little things that work eventually. And then just be open to that not working at some point either. But like I said, I would just shoot to get a lookalike audience. That's the best thing I've ever done, was get a lookalike audience. I will just run new ones from now on. I was tweaking and they weren't getting approved just by adding a few interests or something. Good to know. Yeah, I don't ever tweak them, Kelly. I think it puts you at risk for getting flagged, and I have seen that happen. So, you guys have any more questions? Mel, are you good? Is she gone? She's gone. Okay, so I hope she's good. Nobody has any questions? You guys find this helpful? Megan, you good?
Yes, thank you very much, Shauna. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. So let's say in 2 weeks, I would love to go back to your fan page and see what you've applied and see how it's changed and get some new ads going. And I would love to see what's transpired. And if not, then let's just like figure it out, because you know, I'm not doing this just to hear myself talk. I actually would love to see people be able to move forward and get some results. Because then
Awesome.
otherwise I'm full of shit.
Yeah, no, that works for me. I actually quit my job, my full-time job, to do this full-time. So I'm pretty free the next couple weeks. So yeah.
Congratulations. Did you
Thank
burn all
you.
the ships? You burn all the ships?
Not really, but well, kind of, but
Say, well, like, get on the island and then burn the ships, and then there's no going back. It's like they're gone. I burned them, they're gone. Not
yeah.
Bridges is in a bad way. It's just like that they're gone. There's no going back because there's nothing to sail back on.
Yep, that's kind of what we're thinking.
Well, that's exciting. Then this is perfect timing. Oh, I hope this is like, it just takes off for you.
Thank you. Me too.
Nice to see all of you beautiful faces all day today. Thanks for everybody that was here and contributed to conversation. All of you at some point contributed, so thank you.
Can I ask one thing, Shauna, before you go?
Totally.
So you know how we talked earlier of like me with my makeup and everything, like that's something that I feel like I struggle with because I'm still doing my MLM. Like I'm passionate about it. I love the product. I love helping people. I have a good customer base right now, so I want to continue with that. So would it be okay to like implement more of that stuff into my fan page, or is that kind of like going like, I feel like, would it be wrong because I'm not trying to sell people on my makeup necessarily, but like that's something I feel passionate about. You know what I mean? Like, is it bad to mix the two?
No, I don't think so. I think as long as you're super clear on why you're doing it. So
Okay.
I would say incorporate
Like,
it along with other things that you're doing, because it's all going to be all about like making life beautiful.
okay.
I would say because what's going to happen is people are going to come to your page and they're going to assume that it's multi-level marketing, and that's
and I don't want that. Yeah.
So I would say find a different angle on how you're doing it. Actually,
Probably like just like empowering women, like to make them, help them feel beautiful in their own skin without trying to sell them on something necessarily. Like,
exactly. So instead of selling them on a product, you could sell them on how every single day you take the time to get yourself ready as a mom.
okay,
You know, it's something more along those lines, inspiring
okay,
people to, like, get up, wake up, put on your face, and, you know, like, and incorporate other things too. That's like, you know, I wash my face, because like you, obviously you wear makeup, you probably have a clean your face regime too.
yeah,
So it's about self-care for you. So I would
okay,
focus more on the self-care aspect rather than the products, and then it will shine through properly.
okay,
I would stay away from like the applying and stuff like that, and the talking about the products, but really focus
hmm,
on why you're doing it.
okay,
Yeah.
cool, thank you.
Okay. You guys good? Chelsea, you're welcome. Sherry, you're welcome. You're welcome, Kate. All right, you guys. Well, you have a good rest of your Sunday. You're welcome, Megan. We'll have a team Q&A tonight. I am literally just going to do a Q&A. I'm not going to talk. Well, I'll answer questions, but I'm just going to do a Q&A. So if you guys have any specific questions about your ads, about your messaging, about your pictures, anything about technical issues that you're having with the new platform, bring your questions and we'll just do Q&A. You're welcome, Laura. You're welcome, Kelly. I need to get to replay on the second Zoom. There was no replay on the second Zoom today. It was just a private one, Kelly. So, but it's okay. I can kind of fill you in on that. Alrighty, talk to you guys later.